It's time for the trackers.
That leads us over to the trackers. Nigel, you want to hit us with the old curse tracker?
Yeah, this is a R-rated film. So, but surprisingly, light on curses from Nic Cage. Maybe
He's
to
an
show
Army
that he's
Ranger,
a good.
you know? Yeah.
What's that?
Because he's an Army Ranger. He's a good guy.
He's an honorable man. He doesn't swear all that much. He says, which one was it? He says, shit 3 times. And Jesus once, which I don't remember the context of that. And he says, fuck a total of 3 times. So there's only 7 total curses. That's 5, 7. 7 total curses in this movie, which brings us up to a grand total across both these seasons of 583 curses. So
2 seasons in.
I wonder how much we'll end up at.
Yeah. I'm guessing at least like 2,500. We are only 30% of the way through Nic Cage's entire catalog. We have a long ways to go.
And he keeps cranking out films.
He's got like 47 movies coming out next year.
Yeah,
so.
he's going to have so much more every year. It'll be like that old parable of like Achilles and the tortoise or whatever, where he's like, we catch up and then he's moved on, and we catch up and he's moved on. Never reach him.
Figuring Sisyphus, just keep pushing that rock up the hill.
That too.
Every time we need a rest, the rock just rolls back down in between seasons. Runtime, this had a grand total of 115 minutes, which is nice and tidy. Felt like this one actually had pretty good pacing compared to some of the other ones where I felt like they were a little draggy, especially in these action movies like Face Off. It was 139 minutes.
Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
That one was one of the shortest ones, and it still felt way
like
too long.
So long.
It felt like the longest movie we've ever done. God.
Puts us kind of somewhere in the middle, just under Matchstick Men and just above Color Out of Space. Nudity tracker, there was none. This was an R-rated movie, but no nudity. So it's all violence and cursing. This one. State and country tracker, we did add a state just momentarily. We were in Alabama, but also California, Nevada, technically Utah and Arizona, I guess, if you want to count those flying scenes.
But he wasn't there.
But he wasn't there.
No.
So that brings us up to a grand total of 16 states now. Slowly making our way through. I guess 30% through, 16 states. Right on target.
I doubt we're going to hit all the states, but
I wonder, maybe there's like a road trip movie where he hits like 5 or 6 and we can check off a bunch. But
that's right.
Yeah. Budget versus gross. So this was a $75 million budget and a $224 million gross. Which brings our grand total up to $922.6 million on the budget, and we are just short of $2 billion, 1.982 on the grand total. In there, man. That's another one I'm wondering, like, where are we going to end up on that number? There are a lot of no budget, no gross movies, which we tackled a lot of in the first season. We didn't really this season, but I think next season we have a few more in the mix. Haven't fully finalized what we're going to do next year. We might keep it a little short next year since post-pandemic it's a little hard to juggle the show and everything else that is actually happening again. So
yeah,
there's that whole
more complicated.
Nigel having another baby, which I don't think we have formally announced on the show, but Nigel's having a second little Nigel.
Yeah.
He sounds so happy.
I try not to think about it. It's just exhausting.
It should be easier.
Yeah, be easier the second time around. And having 2 of them running around, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
On our top grossing films, this is now the 5th highest, which I feel like 4 movies this season have held that title for a second. Because Matchstick Men, Lord of War, Moonstruck, The Family Man, and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance were all right in that slot at one point or another this season, which is kind of crazy. At 224 million. So ratings, this is our 14th R-rated film, by and far and away our highest of the grand total here. Since it's the season finale, I'll go over it. So 2 PGs, 8 PG-13s, 14 R-rateds, and 6 unrateds. Which leads us over to the Cage Kill Tracker.
All right. He had 4 kills this film, which brings us to a total of 160 kills. No death, obviously. We saw him live. So we're still sitting at 9, which is pretty impressive for the amount of films we've done. And then resurrections, 0. So we're still only at 2 resurrections for
we had 0 resurrections this entire season. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe we should just retire that as a tracker thing.
I think so.
Yeah.
Just call it out in special instances.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, if he does get resurrected, we'll mention it. But otherwise, it's pointless because we've had 2 out of how many films now?
30.
Yeah.
Yeah.